Lottery winners lose everything at a higher rate than bankruptcy filers. Not most of them, all of them statistically within 5 years. The money doesn't disappear because of bad luck or bad math. It disappears because the brain that received it was never equipped to hold it. And the mechanism responsible is not greed, not stupidity. It's something far older and far more precise. Here is the core problem. Your brain does not store money as a number. It stores money as a feeling, specifically the feeling of effort that produced it. Every dollar you have ever held onto long-term was attached, somewhere in your nervous system, to a memory of cost. Time cost, pain cost, sacrifice cost. Without that attachment, the brain does not recognize the money as belonging to you at all. Neuroscientists call the broader system at play here the reward prediction circuit. It runs through the ventral striatum and the prefrontal cortex, and its entire job is to link outcomes to efforts. When the effort is missing and the reward arrives anyway, the circuit doesn't celebrate. It flags the event as an error, an anomaly, something that should not have happened and therefore cannot be trusted. This is not a metaphor. This is a documented neurological response. The brain physically generates a signal. Researchers measure it as a suppression in dopamine baseline that functions almost identically to a threat response. The same neural architecture that tells you something is wrong when a stranger follows you home tells you something is wrong when money arrives without suffering attached to it. Think about the last time you received money you didn't earn in the usual way: a gift, a refund larger than expected, a small windfall of any kind. Most people report a very specific and very strange sensation. Not pure joy, but a kind of low-level unease underneath the joy, an itch they couldn't name. That itch is the expulsion response beginning. The brain has already started working out how to get rid of the anomaly. The expulsion happens in several distinct patterns, and they look nothing alike on the surface, which is why most people never recognize them as the same mechanism. The first pattern is impulsive spending, not reckless spending, impulsive spending. There's a difference. Reckless spenders know they are spending too much. Impulsive spenders feel an overwhelming sense of rightness, even urgency, about each purchase. The brain is not malfunctioning. It is doing exactly what it was built to do, restoring the balance between effort and reward. The second pattern is generosity, and this one is uncomfortable to talk about because generosity is supposed to be virtuous. But there is a measurable difference between generosity that comes from abundance and generosity that comes from discomfort. When unexpected money triggers the expulsion response, people give it away not from joy but from relief. The act of transferring the money produces a genuine calming of that underlying neural alarm. They feel better, not because they help someone, but because the anomaly has been resolved. The third pattern is the most insidious, and it is the one that explains lottery winners most directly. It is unconscious self-sabotage, not dramatic self-destruction, quiet self-sabotage. A sudden urge to lend money to someone who will never repay it. An investment that felt obvious and turned out to be obviously wrong. A business venture launched in a week, failed in a month. Each decision examined individually looks like poor judgment. Examined together, they form a campaign. The brain is methodically dismantling a surplus it does not believe is real. Researchers at the University of Kentucky followed lottery winners for 6 years and found something that should have made headlines everywhere. The larger the windfall, the faster the bankruptcy. Not slower, faster. More money did not buy more time to adjust. It bought a bigger target for the expulsion response. The brain's discomfort scaled with the size of the anomaly, and so did the speed and creativity of the mechanisms deployed to eliminate it. Now, here is where it gets philosophically strange. This system made complete evolutionary sense for almost all of human history. For 200,000 years, resources arrived proportionally to effort. You hunted more, you ate more, you gathered longer, you stored more. The brain that learned to link reward to effort was the brain that stayed calibrated, stayed motivated, stayed alive. Unexpected abundance was, for most of human history, either a trap or a temporary accident. The appropriate response was suspicion and rapid redistribution back to the tribe. That redistribution instinct is still running. It just looks different now. Instead of handing mammoth meat to the tribe, you're buying rounds of drinks for people you barely know. Instead of sharing the kill with the village, you're co-signing a loan for a cousin who asks at exactly the wrong moment. The brain is not confused. It is executing a program written long before currency existed, in an environment where keeping more than your share was genuinely dangerous. What changes the outcome, and this is documented, is not discipline, and it is not willpower. Both of those fail because they operate in the conscious prefrontal cortex, and the expulsion response originates much deeper. What actually rewires the response is narrative, specifically a story of effort that the brain can retroactively attach to the money. This sounds almost too simple, but the mechanism is concrete. When people are guided to articulate a detailed account of what they did, risked, or endured to position themselves to receive the windfall, the brain reclassifies the money. Financial therapists, yes, that is a real and growing profession, use this technique deliberately. Before a client touches unexpected money, they are asked to build what practitioners call an earned narrative, not a lie, a real accounting of the path that led to this moment. The years of work before the inheritance, the decades of relationship before the settlement, the consistent deposits that made the compound interest possible. The brain needs a story of deserving, and when it gets one, the expulsion response diminishes measurably. There is a second documented intervention, and it is stranger still. Time. Not time to adjust in the abstract, a very specific enforced delay between receiving unexpected money and making any decision about it. The standard recommendation in behavioral finance is 90 days. During that period, the reward prediction circuit slowly recalibrates. The anomaly becomes familiar. The familiar becomes eventually normal. And what the brain codes as normal, it stops trying to expel. Most people never do this. Not because they are impatient, though some are, but because the urgency itself is a symptom. The discomfort of holding unexpected money feels like a signal to act. It is a signal. It is just not a signal about money. It is the old expulsion mechanism creating pressure, and that pressure is designed to feel like clarity. The feeling that you know exactly what to do with a windfall is, neurologically, the least trustworthy feeling you can have about money. The documented reason humans physically cannot accept unexpected money is not a character flaw. It is an architecture flaw, a mismatch between a 200,000-year-old operating system and a financial world that is less than 5,000 years old. The brain is doing what it was built to do. It is expelling a foreign object. The only way to override the expulsion is to make the foreign object familiar before it arrives or immediately after. Through narrative, through delay, and through the deliberate construction of a story the brain can believe. The money is not the problem. The brain is not the problem. The problem is the gap between them, and the gap is closable, but only if you know it exists. Most people never find out it exists until after the money is gone. Now you know before.